Hello all, welcome to Cognitive Hub Databricks Tutorials. In this video, I am going to explain about how to create a user-defined function in Databricks. And in next videos, in the upcoming videos, I am going to tell you about how to apply that UDFs into the data frame, like into the column of a data frame. But in this functionality, in this video, I am going to explain about, how to create a UDF and I'm going to create a function with whatever the concepts that we have learned so far. So majorly what I'm trying to do here is, so I want to give input as whatever the date format that I want, so that our function, whatever that we wrote now, that we will going to write now, will convert into one format, whatever the we are going to specify one specific format. So whatever the input data that we want to give, it will automatically convert into the format that we want. So for that, what I did is I have created a new notebook known as common functions. So here I have imported this variable, this libraries here, and I created a spark variable. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a function here saying that convert date as a function name, and the input for this parameter is just like a date time, the date string type, date value, and I want to return the final output. So I'm going to tell you later but for the timing, what I'm doing is I'm creating a one variable known as formatted value. Initially I'm giving it as none, and I want to specify one condition here. If the date value, suppose if there is null value in the parameter that we are passing to this function, then I want to return none, or I can just mention this line of statement here, equal to none, else. So if date value is not none, then I want to apply some functionality for this one, whatever the value that we are getting. So for that, what I'm doing is I am writing a try catch block here, try and except block. So here what I'm doing is, as we already imported the datetime function here, dt, or so I'm writing one array here, format function, or what I can do is I will show you with one function first. So the format that I want, that I am giving it here, is year, day, month, or slash, and then percentage hours, percentage m, percentage s. So I'm giving the format date type like this, and as I mentioned, I have already specified the date time. I have already imported the date time library, so I am directly using that function here, date time dot. As I mentioned previously, we have string pass time here, where the first parameter that we will be giving is date value, and the second parameter is whatever the format that you want to specify. If you do that, then it will convert it into one format, print tt, and then what I want is I want to convert the output into format data, right? dt dot string f time, which will format into whatever the format that we want. So the format that I want is year hyphen month hyphen day. So this format I wanted at the end, and I want to return this value. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm updating the formatted value to this one. If the format is not matching, then I will be getting some value error. So that in that case I will just pass. A pass in the sense it will just skip that flow and then come out, and at the end I am returning the formatted value. Yeah, this is what the function that I want to do, but I'm gonna do a little bit of modifications to this. But for the timing, I'm just writing this function here, and I want to execute with some code. So now I want to write. I am directly writing it in display or print function. Print convert date of. So I am gonna give one date value here. So the date value that I want to give here is whatever the format that we have specified here. So firstly I am giving 2024 slash 08 or date, right, 08 slash 07 and something like hours and all. I am giving it like a random. So if I call this function, I will be getting this function value into format date type. So if something is wrong, then it is gonna specify, okay, here it is not a capital M, it is a small m. So I'm writing it, I'm executing it again. So if you specify this, if you execute this one, here for the print time, it got this one, and at the end we have converted into this format. So we will be getting only this format at the end. So that's what it is returning. But now what I want is, I want to give one more format which is not specified, and I want to give one more date which is not in the above format date. So I want to give this date and I want to run. Now if you see, it is gonna print none because it is not satisfying this format type. So what if I want to satisfy this condition also, then I need to put it in an array. So for that what I am doing is, I am placing an array here and I want to copy this format also. So I am just updating the existing functionality that we wrote, and in addition to that I want to update these functions as well. %d and %b, %y. Similarly, %y hyphen %d hyphen %m. Like that. There are a few formats, right? Whatever the formats that I want, then I am just printing it here, so that if someone wants to, someone trying to execute, then they will just specify the format here and they will directly apply that on the column. So here we can't directly apply the array functionality to this data type, so we need to write a for loop here for I in. So we need to specify whether the date value is satisfying which condition here. So suppose if I am entering this date format, then we need to check whether this format is satisfying the date value or not. So for that what we need to do is, I'm just writing it in. So I am just writing inside the for loop here. So if it is gonna check for each and every statement here, or I can do is, I can write this line of code outside. Yeah. So inside the try block, we wrote the for loop here for each and every day. Whatever the date value that we specify, it is gonna check for the each and every format that we provided here. And instead of format date, I am gonna specify here I only, so that for every time it is gonna check. And for each time if the format is not matching, then it will pass, so that it is gonna execute again the next statement. So that's how it is gonna execute. So I'm gonna run it again. So if I run the statement, I am gonna get two dates here. Wait, something is wrong. Okay, and now I understood what is the issue is, because if we write this one, then it is gonna check for the first condition, then we wrote the pass statement, right? So the for loop is out inside the try block, so that's why it is gonna come out of this loop. So what we can write is, we can write this line of statement after this, outside of this try block, and we can write this try block inside of for loop, so that it is gonna execute now. So what it will do is, for each and every condition it is gonna check whether the exception is there or not, and if the exception is there, then it is gonna go and check for the second line of statement. So like that, if I execute it now, we got two dates here. Initially we got none here, but now for the second date also we got the corresponding date here. Now if I want to change the statement, if I want to change the format of the date, and I'm specifying it like slash slash. Then here also, because this format is also we have already specified here, so that it is like for this also we are gonna get the data. So like this we are getting data here. So but now what I want is I want to specify, I want to change the format with without slashes or without hyphens. Now in this case we will be getting none here. So like that we will be, we have created a functionality to accept whatever the format that we have provided, and so that it is gonna apply on that function. So what right now we have created a function. Now the next statement is we need to create a UDF. So for that what I am doing is convert date. UDF is the name that I am giving for this UDF. We have a function known as UDF function. For that I am writing lambda function. So what this lambda function will do is whatever the value that it gets for this user defined function, it is gonna apply for each and every value. It is gonna apply the converted function to this one. So this is how you will create a normal function into a user defined function in Databricks. Sorry, you need to write it outside of the definition, or you can also write this in the another block of code, that is also fine. So this is how you basically create a user defined function. In the next video we are gonna see how we need to use this UDF and apply it in the data frame column or date column or whatever string column with different type of formats and all. So that's all for this video guys. Thank you for watching.